Hey y'all, and welcome back to Growing with Ray. Y'all, so very exciting news. I got somebody that wanted me to grow plants for them and help them plant out their garden. This is a service that I offer in my local area, you guys. For any pricing or details, definitely reach out to me versus email. But with that being said, let me show you what we're taking and let's get there. All right, y'all, we got 3 trays with 4.5 and an elderberry back here. Don't judge my trunk, okay? But we got a lot of stuff that we're gonna be planting today. I'll tell you. So those are the aromas. So I guess I don't know how you want it. You just do I guess. Yeah. Hey y'all, so let's go ahead and get into what is going on. So this is a long-term friend of mine, you guys, and we did go ahead and plant her out a garden. So she did want to do in-ground, so she did go ahead and contact someone to till her yard. The best advice I would have for anybody that has clay soil as we do is a few things. Number one is when you're getting your ground tilled, after they till it about 2 or 3 times, you guys get some compost or some type of potting mix that'll help to loosen up this soil, you guys. Looking back, that's one thing I wish I would have told her. Because if not, you are going to need to lay down compost under these plants or around the plants once this job is completed. So we did go ahead and start out by naming the tomatoes to her, letting her know which ones are indeterminate, you guys. So that we could have it along the fence line. That's what we're putting down now. And in the back, she's going to have some T-posts, and she's planning to do the Florida weave method. Another thing is that some bunnies came and actually ate some of the vegetation off of the tomatoes. So it's recommended, if you're able to try to protect them. They're very vigorous though, and prolific, so they should actually bounce back. But if you want to protect them, it's good to put them under a basket. I'm going to insert a picture of that basket for you guys so that you can see the ones that I know that Dollar Tree carries, you guys. Moving forward, we then talked about, okay, you have green beans, you have cucumbers, and as well we have some marigolds. She bought some marigolds that was already flowering. I brought the white Kilimanjaro marigolds that I got from Baker's Creek, you guys. We then also went over the basil. She did let me know she got some onions as well, so that's a natural deterrent. She did get some rosemary, and then I also brought her some squashes. I brought her some peppers. And so we are going to go ahead and get those planted. Before we get those planted, though, it's best that in an area like this, you guys, that you go ahead and lay out where everything is going to be so that you can get a vision of where everything's going to be at. Make sure it has the proper spacing. And on top of that, she does also let me know towards the end by the gate that there was an old tree there where the roots are still at, so they're not going to be able to be dug right there. So we end up putting cucumbers along that edge so that once it's growing, it'll catch onto the fence and be able to spread out right there. Another thing is, you guys, it's good to heavily mulch, you guys, with the melons, because they're going to sprawl out. She has cantaloupe. Guys, the first plant is in the ground. And I brought her some watermelons and different like cantaloupe style melons, honeydew almost, from Rare Seeds. So we're gonna have that at the very end, just so that they can sprawl out into her yard, you guys. But I hope that you all are enjoying this video. I'm gonna go ahead and get this sped up for you guys. Throughout this process, we was out here about 3 hours, just chit-chatting, catching up, and having talks about the garden. Now, another thing that we did talk about as well, you guys, was about the sun and exactly how the sun goes from her yard, and for the things that would be protected for the midday sun. So we did decide to plant everything that would be taller towards the back, and then coming forward the shorter things, you guys. So that's why the tomatoes are along that fence, and then from there we'll have the pepper plants, you guys. We also do have her some squashes, so we know those don't get too tall, but they do get pretty wide. So this is what I would call condensed gardening, you guys. Something that lets everything to get in the space with a nice variety. This was probably about 40 feet long, you guys, and this just shows what you can do in a small space as we continue to plant everything, you guys. Also, she has some knee pads, you guys. It was so nice and very, very helpful to have that. This overall was a very fun experience. If this is something you're interested in getting, you can always email me if you are in my area. I can, of course, look out the scope, do a free consultation, and we can go from there, because you don't have to do in ground, you guys. And of course, if you have a tiller, that is something way much simpler to do. But if you have a truck to be able to transport that tiller, that'll be even more helpful, you guys. But yes, this process was quick, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Essentially, with being able to have a great conversation, us just double checking to make sure everything is where it's supposed to go. And you guys, I can say I really, really enjoyed this. Another thing is, I did go ahead and recommend for her to get some fish emulsion, just because we're not adding fertilizer to the ground. It's in clay soil, you guys. And if you're digging in clay soil, we also wouldn't be putting any pot and mix in the ground or fertilizer at this moment, just because clay soil, that's one of the reasons it's clay soil, because it holds on to water so tightly that underneath the ground they should thrive, honestly. um, but of course, you guys, I would still recommend that after it is tilled, just to loosen it up, just to give it a little bit of babysitting time, to go ahead and get in some loose soil. But I know I've planted in the ground for 2 full seasons and had some very vigorous plants that adjusted very well. I did not direct sow, and from that, because of that, they did wonderful. Now, since it is clay soil, that is one of the reasons I say it is best to heavily mulch, because on dry days it'll literally look like a cracked sidewalk, you guys. It holds on to so much moisture under the ground that the very top will just look so dried out. You would think the plants would be struggling to get some water, but I promise it will not be. Another thing is, if you have voles or moles, you guys, which she didn't say that she had. I know someone else said that they had that in their backyard, but it wouldn't be bad to actually allow the weeds to grow around it. Just maintain them. It just definitely depends on how well it is tilled in that area. Because another thing you got to remember as to why I'm saying to mulch when it comes to having um, clay soil is because when you're tilling, it is going to bring up weed seeds that have been in the ground, you guys. This was only worked for the first time. She is planning to go ahead and till again in the fall time, but also fertilize it, just because every garden needs to be fertilized, as you all heard in my last video. But you guys, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put some music on for the rest of this video, and then we will catch you guys towards the end so I can give you a run through of everything that is currently in the ground and how everything is looking. Again, this was a wonderful experience. You don't always have to be this hand on, because some people are just lazy gardeners, and I know I am, but I don't mind being meticulous with everything as well. So yeah, just always keep in mind how plants grow so you can know where to lay them out at if you're going to do them in a space such as this, because I wouldn't say it's a small space, but it is a condensed area with everything there to be able to thrive and flourish, honestly, for the season. And like I said, we'll have updates. All right, y'all, we got everything planted out. So in the very back row, we got tomatoes and marigolds intertwined into each one. She will go ahead and water it in. Then we got our peppers. We got cucumbers over here to trellis up that gate. We got green beans going down this whole row. We got a squash there. We got some carnations here. We got rosemary. We got more peppers. We did put onions in here. And there's another right there. More green beans. We got basil. We got more squashes. We're gonna have to put that rosemary back in. We got more basil, more onions, another rosemary, some more green beans, rosemary, onions, cantaloupes, watermelons, onions, more onions, and then we ended it off with 2 poppies and a rosemary. I don't know how much of that recorded, but I hope y'all enjoyed the video. The yard looks amazing, and we will get an update throughout the summer. Bye.